So today I just want to do a short comparison between these two microphones right here. They're both video mics. This one is the Sennheiser MKE 200 and this one is the RØDE VideoMic NTG. Hey, what's up? My name is Jonas Fasching. I'm a music producer and field recordist, and today I just felt like I want to share my thoughts about these two microphones with you. I've been using this microphone for a long time, the Sennheiser MKE 200, and I've been recording my videos with this one when I'm outside. When I'm inside, indoors and in the studio, I'm recording with this microphone right here. It's the RØDE NTG 5 shotgun microphone, and it's also the microphone that you can hear right now. It's getting recorded in this Mix Pre 6 by Sound Devices. But when I'm outside and just walking around, I like to have a microphone on top of my camera. So until now I've used this microphone, but I felt like I want to upgrade this a little bit and I want to get something in between the quality of this microphone and this microphone. So I was able to borrow this microphone from a friend of mine who doesn't need it anymore. And today I just wanted to compare it myself because I just wanted to find out if it's actually worth it to do the upgrade. Now this microphone right here costs around 70 bucks at the time of this recording, and this one around 200 bucks. So yeah, there is a difference, and yeah, let's find out if it's actually worth it to do the upgrade or not. So to start out, let me introduce you to the Sennheiser MKE 200. It's a very small microphone and it's also very light and yeah, very portable. You can carry it around very easily, and also it doesn't take a lot of space on top of your camera. Now the other thing that's really cool about this microphone is it's plug and play. So you just plug it into your camera and it just runs without any additional battery or anything like that. Now the RØDE VideoMic NTG requires additional battery, and it has a little charging slot on the side of the microphone which you can charge with USB-C. Now the battery inside of this microphone will last around 30 hours. At least that's what they say on the website of RØDE. And I think that's quite a long time because when you're filming with your camera, the battery of your camera will run out much faster. Now on this microphone we also have much more different settings than on this. This one doesn't have any buttons or anything like that. On this microphone you actually can choose a lot of different things. First off, you can turn it on right here if you press and hold long on this button right here. And also when you turn on and off your camera while this microphone is plugged in, it will automatically turn on and off. And I think that's a really cool feature because sometimes it can happen that you forget to turn on the microphone and yeah, then you don't have any sound, or you forget to turn it off at the end and it just runs out of battery. Now the next feature that we have here is the low cut. It's just a 75 and a 150 Hertz low cut, or a high shelf filter to boost the high frequencies, and you can also combine that with the two low cuts that you have right here. Now the next feature that this microphone has is actually really cool, and I think I will be using this quite a lot, and that is the backup track. The backup track is basically just a second track that gets created, which is minus 20 dBs quieter than the original track. And this is really nice when you all of a sudden have a sound that's very loud and the sound gets distorted. You can still just choose the backup track, and on this track it will not distort probably. And how it works, it just makes a stereo file, and on the left channel you have the normal track, on the right channel you have the track that's minus 20 dBs. And you can just do that in post-production and say, yeah, I'm only going to use the right track or I'm only going to use the left track, and just make this the main track on both sides basically. You can also just enter a normal pad, which is minus 20 dBs on both tracks. Now the last thing that you can change on this microphone is just the volume of the whole recording basically. It really depends how you want to set it depending on the gain on the camera. Now on my camera, I'm using the Sony Alpha 6600. It's the camera right here. And on this camera I'm just setting the gain to 1 internally, and here I will then set it to around 9 or 10. So now let's do a comparison between the sounds of the MKE 200 and the RØDE VideoMic NTG. So now I've hooked up the Sennheiser MKE 200 to the Sony Alpha 6600, and this is now the sound of the Sennheiser MKE 200 that you can hear. This microphone has actually a much lower output than this microphone right here, so I really had to boost the gain on this preamp of this Sony Alpha 6600. The gain on this camera is now set at 7, and with this microphone I can record at the gain of 1. So that's already a big difference, because when you boost the gain of this preamp, the self noise of this preamp will get amplified. So it will be probably also more audible than with this microphone right here. Now at the moment we are recording without the windshield. When you buy this microphone, it gets delivered with this windshield right here, with this furry thing. So let's put it on and let's compare it also with and without the windshield. So this is now the Sennheiser MKE 200 with the windshield on. And I think that the difference should only be very small. Maybe there's a slight decrease in the higher frequencies, but other than that, I think it's a really nice windshield, and it's also cool that they deliver it with the microphone. Now what I can also say about this microphone is that the plug of this cord that goes into the microphone is at the front of the microphone, and sometimes I have an issue with this connector on the microphone that it's a little bit glitchy, and then you get a lot of noise or a lot of hummings all of a sudden, and when you record and you don't realize it, it's actually really bad if your whole recording gets messed up. So you have to be very careful with this microphone. Also, what I figured out is that when I'm recording with this camera and this microphone in the studio, and I want to hook up the camera to external power, and I just plug it into the power socket on the wall, there is sometimes a ground hum that can occur. So that's why I'm also recording now without any external power. Now when I'm recording with this microphone right here, this actually never happens. I can never hear any ground hum with this microphone right here. So that's already a really nice thing about this microphone. There's no ground hum issues with this. So now let's switch up the microphone and let's put on the RØDE VideoMic NTG. So this is now the sound of the RØDE VideoMic NTG. On the microphone there's now everything flat, and the gain on the camera is now set at 1, and on here I set the volume at 9. So this is just a really good rule of thumb. If you have a microphone like this, I would always dial down the preamp as low as possible and turn up the gain as much as possible on your microphone. Because as I said, the preamps on these cameras are sometimes not that good. And like this, you can really benefit from the amplification that already happens on this microphone. So now let's also do a quick comparison with the windshield. So this is the RØDE VideoMic NTG without a windshield. And now let's put on this foamy windshield right here that gets delivered with the microphone when you buy it. So this is now the sound of the RØDE VideoMic NTG with this foamy windshield on. So now let's try out the different settings on this microphone. This is now the low cut at 75 Hz. And this is the low cut at 150 Hz. And this is the high shelf turned on. So all the higher frequencies are getting boosted. And you can also combine the high shelf with the 75 low cut filter or the 150 low cut filter. This is now everything flat again. So now, as I told you, you can do these backup recordings in case your signal gets distorted. So let's turn on the backup recording. And now the signal on your left side should have stayed the same, and on your right side it should be much quieter now, so minus 20 dBs. And what you can do now is to pick one side and use that in post-production. And this is the pad activated, so on both channels just minus 20 dBs. So now let's just recap everything, what the biggest differences are between these two microphones, and if it's actually worth it to pay the additional price to upgrade to this microphone. So this microphone is very small, it's very handy, it's super light, and it's also very robust. Now for me, the biggest downside is just this cable right here that sometimes has this ground hum issue. Also, the signal of this microphone comes in very low, so you really have to turn up the gain of your camera. Now characteristically, I would describe the sound of this microphone more defined in the higher frequencies and not so much in the bass frequencies. I personally really like to have enough bass frequencies, and I can still reduce them in post-production. So overall, I would say that this is a good quality budget microphone, and if you're just starting out, I think that this can be the right tool for you. Now again, back to the RØDE VideoMic NTG. I've done now a couple of tests, and I can say that I actually really like this microphone. For me, I think the biggest upside with this microphone is just the noise floor that's really low if you record with this microphone and this camera. With this microphone right here, I really had to denoise the whole recording quite a lot, and I think that in the future I don't have to do this so much with this microphone right here. Now I also really like the function of the backup track, and I think that's just something that I will be using quite a lot. I think one of the downsides is just that it's also much bigger, and yeah, it just takes much more space, and you also need the shock mount right here. On this you don't need that, everything is built into the microphone. But for me, I think that this is actually One more thing that I forgot to mention is that this microphone requires charging, so I would also put that on the con side. Actually really the microphone that I was looking for, and it is really something between the RØDE NTG 5, that's right here, and the Sennheiser MKE 200. So I will be very happy to do this upgrade and from now on record with this microphone when I'm outside. So now you know all about the important differences between these two video microphones. If you own one of these microphones, I would be curious to know your thoughts about these microphones and also which one you prefer. If you liked this video, please subscribe to my channel so you will receive further videos like this one in the future. Happy recording, thanks for watching.